This is a pretty random video I'm just recording right now. I'm not going into it with any sort of script. As of today, on today, that being the 12th of November, this is the day that the 2v8 game will return to Dead by Daylight. Um, bringing with it, new maps, new killers, and updates to the old systems, etc. And one thing that I was quick to note, as soon as I hop into the killer queue and pick Blight, is that I can't use my William Birkin skin. And this is pretty interesting. We already know that licenses in Dead by Daylight are a bit finicky. Obviously, like, the devs cannot add anything to any new. The devs can add balance changes all they want to existing killers or survive or anything, whatever. Any licensed killers, any of their perks, any map that came with licensed chapters. They're allowed to do all of that they want. They're allowed to make any sort of changes to the gameplay mechanics with whatever character they have. But they can't do anything outside of that. They can't, make any new cosmetics for them without going to the license holders and asking, hey, could we add your killer but blighted to the game? Could we have your killer dripping with blight serum and add that to a Halloween cosmetic? They have to go ahead and do that, and if the license holder says no, that means no. And 2v8 is very interesting. And okay, I don't even know what the best point to start off with this is. So I'll say this. Yeah, ever since it was announced that 2v8 would be returning, everyone had their hopes up for some kind of licensed killer. Granted, we already, as soon as 2v8 was announced to be returning, they at that same time revealed what the new killer that would be coming, and it would be reasonable to assume that would be the end of it, and it was. They announced Slinger, Spirit, and Blight, and we only got Slinger, Spirit, and Blight, and their maps, and Father Kimball Chapel for whatever reason. But when I first heard that Blight would come to 2v8, as I mentioned toward the start, I was ecstatic to hop into a game playing as William Birkin, the legendary skin for Blight that turned him into, William Birkin from Resident Evil. But that cosmetic is disabled. And when I chose Spirit, I can also notice that the Warhammer Titan skin from Attack on Titan is also disabled. So the Attack on Titan thing, we'll start off with that. Not that surprising. The cosmetic collection has already left the store for over a year now, I want to say. Yeah, over a year, maybe even 2 years. I haven't keep track of time. I think it's only over a year. But point is, developers do not really have any rights to Attack on Titan anymore. So I suppose this is probably important to get at this earlier. But the big actually no wait, I think I have to get at that later, shouldn't I? This is the problem with rambling without a script. You have no sense of direction. So there's a reason why why this isn't allowed to be done. But I'll get to that in a bit. Because it's very worth noting that out of the 4 licensed cosmetic collabs that are on playable characters in 2v8, only those 2, William Birkin and the Warhammer Titan, are the only ones that are not playable. The other 2, Stranger Eddie for Slinger and the Mordio for Huntress, have been playable since the start. So what I want to ramble about for this is how well do I think every 2v8 every license, how much of a chance do I think every license has at getting in 2v8? Because here's the real kicker. 2v8 is a lot more complicated to get in, to get characters in than the base game. Behavior in their contract, this is as far as I understand it, in their contracts, behavior gave every license holder they made them give their word that they would give their character for a game in which there's one killer that's played by one player on a randomly selected map from a very big pool of maps against 4 random survivors also being controlled by players in one match. Although I suppose it's more to specify multiple survivors rather than 4. As you may notice, in 2v8 you're allowed to play as any survivor you want, licensed or not, legendary character or not. I can go into a game as James Sunderland, who is not only a legendary skin, but a licensed character. Or should have been the other way. Not only a licensed character, but a legendary skin. But it's not quite so simple with killers. Because it's a whole other story for your token good guys of your series, I suppose, to go up against the more iconic slashers. It's a matter of, is Capcom willing to let Matthew Cote's own word? Is Matthew Cote what? Is Capcom ready to allow the Nemesis to play in a trial alongside Chucky, and are the rights holders of Chucky, whoever those are, I'm not that educated, are they willing to do the same thing? And you pretty much have to go over that for every possible combination of killers. For the most part, as far as I'm concerned, most of the license holders are okay with with a licensed killer being alongside an original killer, like Pyramid Head and the Trapper in the same trial, perfectly fine. It's when you get into other licenses that it gets finicky, because that's into crossover territory that some aren't really okay with. So, what I want to ramble about is, like I said, how well of a chance does every licensed character have? Every licensed killer and legendary skin, how well would a chance that every license have of getting into Dead by Daylight? We're gonna start from the beginning and go on from there. Obviously, we're only gonna go over any licenses that involve legendary skins or killers, because, if it's only a Survivor, if it's Alan Wake or Left Behind or After You Were Dead, we already know that. We already know that they're in the game. You can already play them. They're only Survivors. So we'll start from the beginning and start with Halloween. Could Michael Myers be added to 2v8 alongside the a bigified Haddonfield? I'm gonna say this is sort of this is on the on the scale of of not a chance to maybe to the license holder jumping at the chance for the next crossover. Michael is just behind maybe, leaning towards not a chance. It's not quite that the license holder hate Michael Myers or anything. Or hate behavior. We did just see, Michael Myers has just been added to the newest Call of Duty game as a playable operator, I believe, or something like that, or a skin for an operator, something like that. So I think that they're willing to allow collaborations. Yeah, it's to allow the collaboration to expand, I should say. Is decent, but we're just gonna cross our fingers, because Myers has not received a new cosmetic since launch probably, and as many of you will probably know, he's only ever just gotten his first set of balance changes since launch this month. But that seems kind of promising to me. It kind of tells me that maybe stuff is turning over. Turning a leaf in terms of licenses. But considering how, spoiler for this list, I guess, but every single change to a killer in this month's patch, this PTB that's out right now, is to a licensed killer. So this might have something to do with behavior trying to keep a close eye on all their licenses currently in the game. I think this might have to do with improving relations with their license holders. So I think Michael Myers still kind of iffy, but we're really just gonna have to wait and see. The next up on our list would be Left Behind, but we already know how. But the status of that. So the actual next would be our next killer, yeah, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre's own Leatherface, Bubba Sawyer, the cannibal. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this is like, again, between maybe and not a chance, but much closer to not a chance. Okay, like, the license holders are nice enough to allow us to keep Bubba even after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game released, but I think they're gonna want to keep that, like, they want to keep that as their thing. They want to keep Bubba as their... They want to keep the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as the sole game which you can experience playing as Bubba Sawyer alongside other killers to hunt a multitude of survivors, you know? Or victims or whatever. So I think Bubba is very likely not coming to 2v8 anytime soon, or later. He's never coming to 2v8. Now, this next killer is pretty much the only one I'm not really gonna try to put anywhere on the scale, and that's Freddy. It's very infamously known that behavior had no good relationship with Nightmare on Elm Street whatsoever. And to the point that they haven't even gotten, neither Freddy nor Quentin have any store cosmetics at all. But I think they're turning around for that. I say think and not know, because I don't know. I'm still not trying to put them anywhere on the scale. But with that being said, I think they're trying to turn things around. Again, A, they're trying to keep a closer eye on their licenses and have a better relationship with their license holders. And B, Freddy is getting an entire revamp in this coming January. The devs have confirmed that in their roadmap. On top of that, it seems like they're overhauling the entire Nightmare on Elm Street chapter with not only changes to Freddy, but also changes to two of his perks, as well as all of Quentin's perks. We got the pharmacy change in this patch, and we're gonna see what the other two perks are gonna change in the January PTB. So, with how much drastic changes are coming to the Nightmare on Elm Street license, I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just not gonna put anywhere in scale. Fortunately, the next person up, Amanda Young from Saw, is much easier to put on scale. She is way on the yes side. She is very far on the she can be added absolutely side. Not only is Saw not not at all a stranger to collabs, as they've just gone Fortnite, but Behavior and Lionsgate have a very tight relationship. Amanda Young is the only licensed killer in the game who has consistently gotten cosmetic after cosmetic after cosmetic, even to this day. And this license came out in 2017, which is impressive. So yeah, I think Amanda Young is more so Amanda, the pig, is more so a technical thing than a license thing on that behalf. Even with the Fortnite collaboration team that approved, I doubt that they're gonna have a problem with Amanda Young playing alongside Chucky or Nemesis or Wesker or Pyramid Head or Dracula, all of that. I think she's got a solid chance. But it's more of I do see a issue riding with her power being implemented 2v8. I think just implementing the pig box spawn alone, we're probably gonna fuck things up. The next killer up, I'll have to go over any I'd probably go over some killer skins. That probably. The only ones that I have to go over is the Doctor's Pharaoh Eddie, which, if Stranger Eddie's in the game, Pharaoh Eddie's absolutely gonna come with no problem whatsoever. Simple enough. Legion. Okay, so here, I want to talk about Legion for a second. So, devs have confirmed, or at least it's been confirmed somewhere, that the next killers coming to 2v8, or to next iteration, are going to be Legion and Oni. They are two of the killers being worked on. And Legion is a very interesting one, because Legion is the only killer in the game to have licensed skins for a number of different, collabs. He has Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and Slipknot under his belt. There might even be more that I can't remember right now. The point is... Oh, Dungeons and Dragons too, forgot about that. Yeah, Legion had licensed skins for Dungeons and Dragons, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and Slipknot. So, let's go over those for a quick bit. Resident Evil, I'll get to later. Like the Legion Hunk skin would presume it's pretty easy to assume that if we get an iteration of 2v8 that doesn't have Wesker and or Nemesis, you won't be able to play as Birkin or Hunk. That much is very well established. The Dungeons and Dragons, all the other skins are different stories. However, interesting, while they are licensed, they're not legendary. They don't turn your character into another character. I want to say there's some other killers who have instances of skins like this, where like the Sword Hero is very heavily inspired by another license, but it's not a direct character from that license. But not only one other one that are in 2v8. There might be a Blight one. No, I don't think so. Whatever. So, would that arise complication, or would that just be seen as simply cosmetic, like a cool skin that just happened to be linked towards something else? Let's assume it's the latter. Let's assume it's the former, and they're treated the same way as legendary skins, and the license holder has to be okay with them being in the game. So, I gotta say first off, if I don't know, I don't follow Slipknot's legal process, but I'm gonna assume that if Iron Maiden is okay with letting you use Eddie, Slipknot's okay with letting you a character with their skin. Again, I'm gonna think of it. As far as I'm concerned, you can use the Slipknot mask for the original killer just fine. So I think yeah, I think Legion with that Slipknot mask cosmetic won't be a problem. So yeah, that should have been way quicker. Dungeons and Dragons, I think they'll be okay with it. I think that ultimately, while it is supposed to be Susie the rogue that she played in Dungeons and Dragons, it's still just like an unnamed rogue who is a medieval fantasy character. Like, it's not a known staple of Dungeons and Dragons. It's just a rogue. It's literally just Susie's persona in Dungeons and Dragons. So it should be totally fine for Dungeons and Dragons going to be available. Finally, the Silent Hill skin, the Robbie the Rabbit one. This one's actually also simple in the fact, similar to Hunk and Birkin. If Silent Hill can be in 2v8, if Tyrant can be playable and Midwich can be a map or whatever, then the Robbie the Rabbit skin will be available. If not, then no. Moving on from that, Ghostface. Ghostface is probably the simplest. Yes, on this list, absolutely, considering that it's pretty much the behavior's own character, just up to Fun World, the people who own the map to give the head okay, in which case they're probably gonna say, yeah, sure, whatever. That's not really their business. They're just as long as they're getting the money from people buying all the Ghostface masks, you know. Power probably need a lot of buffs for it, but yeah, whatever. It should be simple enough. Ghostface, absolutely. I don't see why not. Stranger Things. This is probably one of the harder no's on this list. The relationship between behavior and Stranger Things is already rocky. It started out great. Not only were Stranger Things added to the game and drawn so many new players for the game, but they also kept this momentum going by adding new skin for the collection over and over again. They gave a legendary skin to Steve, you know. But then the license got pulled, which was a tragedy. And then 2 years later, it was back. And that made things iffy. It's great we have it again. It's not, but there's still. It's like Behavior and Netflix can't look at each other without going Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, I got something I gotta be doing, so I can't talk right now. It's yeah, they're not enemies anymore, but there's just often something so awkward between them. So I don't think they're going to. I don't think Demogorgon and Hawkins is coming to 2v anytime soon. Onto the Oni. No, we're noteworthy because he has two skins. We're never gonna get the Armor Titan That much is simple. We're not going to get the Armor Titan and the Warhammer Titan until the Attack on Titan collab comes back. And even then, I don't think I feel like I feel like there's a very low chance the people who own the skin, whatever anime studio that is, would not be okay with their character going like teaming up alongside other slashers and stuff. I don't maybe they like have a weird okay for if you can have the Warhammer Titan and Armor Titan specifically together, that'd be cool. But like again, even if we get them to get the license back to begin with. Samurai Eddie on the other hand is very simple. Yeah, he can come to the game, absolutely. If we get Stranger Eddie, we can get Samurai Eddie. Ooh, coming up next is Silent Hill, which is quite a doozy to talk about. So, Behavior and Silent Hill, and Konami, I should say, have a very good relationship, as you can tell by the fact that not only has the Silent Hill collection been consistently updated over the years, as we got Maria just last year, but we just got the Castlevania collection. Not just collection, like not only a Castlevania chapter, but a tome. So the relationship between Behavior and Konami is strong. But what does that mean for 2v8? I'll tell you what I think that means. I think that means Konami would be totally on board with Pyramid Head fighting alongside any original killer. And even for Dracula to fight alongside any original killer. And for Pyramid Head and Dracula to fight alongside any original killer. No, I kind of misspoke there. I think they would be okay with Pyramid Head and Dracula to fight together with each other against any survivors. Like, I think the problem would arise once you have them interacting with a non-Konami license. Like, they look at something like Michael Myers, say, and they'll go, then they could look at something like look at something like Resident Evil and go, no. I really feel like Konami wants to Konami made Silent Hill just to capitalize off of Resident Evil's success. Not just that, to follow the formula and expand on survival horror. And despite that, they really don't want to be associated anyway with Resident Evil. It's kind of weird considering it's kind of like would you expected a Silent Hill and Resident Evil collaboration at some point by this point in time? I would have. Both franchises have been around for more than 2 decades. Almost 3 in Resident Evil's case. The 30th anniversary of the next game is just 2 years around the corner. So that's my verdict for Silent Hill. Konami will be cool with them being alongside, say, any original killer. They'll be cool with letting Robbie the Rabbit be a playable, alongside any original killer. They'll be cool with letting Dracula being played alongside any original killer. They'll be cool with letting Pyramid Head and Dracula play together. But that's it. They will not be cool with the licenses teaming up with between other licenses. With that, we do in fact get to Resident Evil, and this is so far on the yes part on the scale you don't even know. Capcom is dying for a new crossover every 12 seconds. Have you seen the amount of stuff that Ryu from Street Fighter then? Have you seen the amount of stuff that Leon Scott Kennedy then? Have you seen the amount of zombie games that make Resident Evil Survivors playable? The Dead Rising, the new Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster that just came out, had a collaboration with Dead by Daylight to allow the playable characters such as Leon. And it's kind of crazy how that happens. Granted, Dead Rising might be owned by Capcom. I don't know. I haven't looked into it that much, but that much is funny. So, I believe that Capcom is firmly willing to let Behavior use Nemesis, to let them use Wesker, to let them use William Birkin, let them use Hunk, to let all 4 of them play alongside each other and other original killers and other licensed killers. but I don't think that Behavior has gotten that part legally through yet. Like, I just don't think Behavior has actually, like, they can't, let me put it, they can't implement William Birkin and Hunk into 2v8 until they implement Nemesis and Wesker for, like, legal reasons. Even, no matter how okay with it Capcom would be. On top of that, actually, a funny thing worth noting, when it comes to the map, we kind of already have that in our back pocket. That being the original Raccoon City Police Department. Back, like, I'm not sure how many of you knew this, but years ago, before, like, after Resident Evil the Resident Evil chapter came out, but before Resident Evil Part W came out, Raccoon City Police Department East and West of Wayne were one map. Like, both were in the same map. But that was way too big and kind of way too problems, so we got split up into two maps. And, well, now we kind of have something to use it for. That's my verdict for Resident Evil. Both chapters. Next is probably the most confusing thing on this list, and that being Hellraiser. Hellraiser. Behavior's already in a really weird legal spot with Hellraiser, on account of the fact that, like, as far as I'm concerned, the license holder changed from like when Behavior got the license to now. There's a different person who holds the Hellraiser license. I think it's kind of in a stable. I think, as far as I know, it's in a bit of a stable spot right now. But Behavior has a lot of stuff to sort out before they can, say, give Pinhead new skin, let alone even consider asking about him for 2v8. So it's probably safe to say that Pinhead is not coming to 2v8 anytime soon. Not even the technical aspect. Imagine if a chain hunt goes off and your game just starts like running at 4 frames per second because of how many survivors are being chain hunted at once. Sadako. Alright, I'm not very well versed on Japan's legal laws or even Sadako license holders. But from what I can tell, they like to have fun with her. Like, she's kind of like, they have a regulation with Behavior, because we did very recently get new skins for Sadako and Yoichi. That much is obvious. And obviously Sadako keep getting changed, like, complete rebirth every so often, but again, that's really not a license thing, as that's part of the contract. They have to let any sort of balance chain happen to their killers however often the dev need. Well, and, okay, one more thing is that I know that Sadako was part in a movie, in a Freddy vs. Jason-esque movie, where she faced off against Kayako from The Grudge. Sadako versus Kayako. This is a real thing that happened. So, I think she'll be fine playing as other licenses, but I can't be sure. I don't know enough about the legal state of Sadako Yamamura and The Ring. I'm gonna put her, like, just to the right of the maybe, so that she's leaning towards yes. And for that point forward, we have the Dredge only has the Eddie skin, Iron Maiden. We already know that's gonna be totally fine. Again, the Dredge probably more of a technical thing, because imagine playing in Nightfall against some shit like Dredge plus twins. Okay, the Knight. We're talking about Knight again because he has a Dungeons and Dragons skin. And I think for the same reason as Susie, it's not going to be much of a problem. It's still just an unnamed Knight. I think the Dungeons and Dragons skin being as Knight will not be much of a problem. Alien is our next license. And so, you might think that this is in the clear because of the fact that Alien and Predator are one of the biggest, the biggest, horror movie collab in existence. Except for the very weird stipulation that Alien vs. Predator is its own license, separate from Alien and separate from Predator. Which gets even weirder when you consider that that the Xenomorph has a skin of Grid, a character from Alien vs. Predator. Oof. Now, the relationship between behavior and Ridley Scott is pretty tight knit. The Alien collection is pretty big. It just got expanded upon with the Juggernaut Xenomorph and Spacesuit Ellen, and it got and the instant Alien Romulus came out, literally day one. The Rain skin for Ellen, like the Rain Linear Survivor, was added. So it's safe to say that this is another case where Alien could probably play alongside the original killer, but I don't know if Ridley Scott would be willing. I think Ridley Scott would be willing to let the Alien be in a trio alongside most slashers. I'm gonna go ahead and give him that much confidence. I'm gonna go ahead and place this on the sort of like in the smack dab in the middle, but right between maybe and yes. I think he has a fair shot at getting in. Chucky's a very similar story. As far as I'm concerned, the Light Over the Child players are just kind of doing whatever bullshit they think's funny right now. They just kind of want to have fun with their stupid little gremlin. He got in a fucking Roblox game, for Christ's sake. But yeah, between like the Tiffany skin, the Blighted skin that he got, the Billy and the voice line between both him and Tiffany, again, the fucking Roblox collab, I think and just like Brad Dourif and Code's sheer willingness to just make dumb shit like the Chucky show in a later Chucky movie, like I think they're willing to just let anything slide. I think that they've wholeheartedly encouraged Chucky to play again. I think that they are dying to see an indirect collaboration between Chucky and Alien, and Chucky and Halloween, or Chucky and Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's just the thing they die to see. They'd love to see Chucky like slashing alongside like some Michael Myers or Amanda Young or Freddy Krueger. Okay, 2 left. Actually, just 1 left, I suppose. That being Dungeons and Dragons. Because I've already given myself the Castlevania back in Silent Hill section. I'm, not very sure how Wizards of the Coast legal team works. We know that they do have a pretty good relationship with behavior, again, as per the frequent cosmetic collection updates to A3 and Bearmar. But they don't seem to give Vecna much of anything. The Forgotten Ruin being expanded upon can actually make it a really fucking fun map for 2v8. It's really, really weird and lame in 1v4, but could be really awesome in 2v8. Like 2 different matches going on, one outside of the spire and one inside of the spire. That would be fucking cool. So, but of course, that's if the Wizards of the Coast are even letting Dungeons and Dragons come to 2v8. And I don't think the chances are that great. I feel like they would okay. I know that Dungeons and Dragons does have some branded like content together with stuff like Minecraft and Rick and Morty of all things. But they haven't really delved into this kind of stuff too. Like I feel like they'd see Castlevania and think, alright, that's the kind of stuff I vibe with. But they'd see Halloween and think, that's not quite the stuff I vibe with. I think that would be, like, Dungeons & Dragons would be a very selective license, if at all. But, so I'm probably going to lean towards no. I'm going to lean towards no for Dungeons & Dragons. Which wraps up every license there is to go over. Yeah, this was a very random ramble I wanted to go on. Just off my very uneducated views on the current state of licenses in 2v8 and DBD. I want to know what you guys think. I would be happy to be corrected on anything I just straight up lied about in the comments, because again, this is very unscripted and very unresearched, and it's kind of going off of stuff that I know by heart. And would love to know a more expertise view on this sort of stuff. If anyone has knowledge, feel free to correct me. Thanks for hearing me out. I can't wait till any of this come to Dead by Daylight. I can't wait to play as the Resident Evil cast, finally. And as always, remember, Dead by Daylight.